Okay, so welcome to the PWM Modulation Demo. I just want to showcase real quick how this works without actually having to build the entire inverter. So basically I'm using the AT-Tiny 85 controller. And the reason why I've chosen this controller is, quite frankly, I like it. I like the fact that it's tiny. It's an 8-pin dip, and I always, whenever I have a project, I always challenge myself to be able to get it to work with an AT-Tiny. It's just a personal thing of mine. You can use an Arduino Nano, an Uno, a Mega. You can do this with anything you want, but I like the AT-Tiny, so that's what I'm using. All right, and so I've put this together. And everything is exactly, the code is the same code that I would run in the inverter. And basically what I have here is I have these two capacitor network that you can see on the demo schematic. I'm basically filtering the PWM output using a 10K 10 nanofarad and then another 10K and a 4.7 nanofarad, and then feeding that back into the controller's analog input. And so it'll regulate. So anyway, this will demonstrate everything, and then this is the status indicator. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. Okay, and what you can see is that it comes up. It's in phase with the square wave. The half sign is in phase, and it came up to, and it's showing about 3.3 volts. Is where it's regulating, right? Now, if I remove the feedback, okay, so if I come in here and I remove the feedback, okay, you can see that now it just goes up to the rail. So it's constrained at 255, which is the top of the PWM. So that's as high as it'll go. Okay, now if I put the feedback back in, okay, see it comes back down. Okay, so it regulates it down that way. So, and then at the same time, you can see that we have a steady green, right? And then when we removed the feedback, you can see that it's blinking between green red because it's out of voltage regulation. Okay, and then if I put this back in, okay, comes back down. It's now regulating again, so I'm steady green. And then I have a little pot over here to simulate overcurrent. So this, I'm just going to increase the voltage, right, until all of a sudden it passes the threshold of the comparator. And then once that happens, oh, there it is. PWM goes to 0. Okay, and then it takes a hard reset to get it to work again. Okay, so let me back that back off again so that I can reset the microcontroller. So I'll give the reset here. Okay, so there it comes up again.